Great Monday. I know it's late, but as I told you, I maintain my consistency, man. It's Monday, so which means it's Karjakz Assassins Day. I ain't got no choice but to get my Karjakz Assassins on. You know what I mean? So I want to thank everybody for joining the stream tonight. Welcome YouTube people. I'm about to get Facebook people on. Thank everybody for joining me, man. It's been an amazing 3 days at the Art Comic Expo, WonderCon. Very successful, very successful. It's the word I want to use. Totally amazing. It was quite the show, man. Man, it was quite the show. Oh, yo, hold on, give me a second. All right, so let me. I feel like the weather's changing over. Weird weather. Yo, hold on. Here we go. So today, first things first, before I get this thing cracking, I want to talk about thanking everybody. Officially now, I'm over 1,000 subscribers. Last I checked before I got on this thing live, 1,007 subscribers. That's so many subscribers. Thanks to you all, I've achieved something I thought I wouldn't be able to do probably till the end of the year, this year. But it's great to have achieved it. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to get up my hours, trying to get the views. Even right now as I speak, I put up a sneaker video, Karjakz Assassins, Bata's low top sneakers. That thing got to popping, man. It's got a ridiculous amount of views. I put it up like 1 hour, 2 hours ago. I already got almost 1,000 views. So gotta thank everybody, man. The channel's been growing. It was great success at WonderCon. I'm in total celebration, man. It feels good. Even when I went to work and I didn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? The juice to go to work. Not the juice, but just not wanting to be around any kind of negative energy. That was pretty cool. So that was pretty cool. So that was excuse me, y'all. That was pretty cool to have 1,000 subscribers, as many people checking out the live streams from the show WonderCon at Anaheim Convention Center. It was amazing, and I can't wait till next year's show. Y'all give me a second. All right, y'all. So like I said, I'm back. So thank y'all. I gotta just thank everybody, man. The streaming from the WonderCon, it was amazing. So I got up to 1,000 subscribers, but more important than that, man, the show was very successful. As you can see, I got a new custom design Karjakz Assassin hoodie right here. It's a new design, man. I had this thing showcased at the show. People were losing their minds. So, but today we're gonna focus on Karjakz Assassins since it's a Monday. The things that I want to focus on are characters and animation, because in order to do animation you got to have characters, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to focus on today, characters and animation. Thank everybody for joining the chat. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the notification button. It's a Monday and I promised a lot of new subscribers. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, silly boy. Appreciate that joining. Appreciate all of y'all bringing the positive energy. I know it's late, but I said I'll start. I told y'all, consistency is the air of dreams. I don't care what time I get off work. I'm coming in live on my show. I'm doing my what I do every time. So so that's what's going on with that right there. Karjakz Assassins. We're gonna talk about the animation series. If you want to see a personalized Venom hoodie, you gotta visit the website. You see how much the hoodies are. The hoodies the same price as the ones there. So I would say go to soundvision.com. I'm actually gonna put that in the stream. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna put a link into the stream. Give me a second. Actually, I don't want to be seeing this because this is distracting. So I'm gonna do is what I do now. I don't see streams. I don't have to be messing me up. I ain't got time for that. So y'all, I'm gonna put this over here like this. Yeah, Jay Will, you can visit soundvision.com and see what my hoodies are. How much they are. So now back to what I came here for. Karjakz Assassins, right? Characters and animation. So the characters. The main thing for me is you can't have animation without having characters. Last week I talked about art and comics. Well, this week is animation and characters, and I'm gonna because the first official Karjakz Assassins book is pretty much about to be done. So hey, welcome everybody to the chat, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Welcome to the hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. Thanks for joining me. So you know what I mean? So make sure you get your like button. Oh, hold on. Before I get going, I gotta put in the poll. That's right. I've been thinking about this right now. Let's see here. Y'all give me a second. I'm putting together a poll for y'all. I didn't know you could do poll things on YouTube, man. It's the coolest thing ever. So yo. All right, y'all, let's get to this poll. Now, thank y'all for joining me. Like I say, man, I was putting together a cool poll, letting y'all see what's up. So so now look, let's check it out, man. Look, the Karjakz, right? So if you're gonna have an animation, you need to have characters. Back to it. The characters you see. Now this is the classic version of my characters. Without this, there'd be no Karjakz Assassin universe at all. So I'm always thanking the universe and grateful for the fact that I just able to create this a massive thing and focus on it, focus all my energy, and it's actually working. This last Comic Expo I just had at WonderCon Convention Center, my characters got mad love. The sneakers is going, which I'm going to show y'all later, that got to sell into. It's good to really believe in yourself. That's probably the first most important thing to creating something, right? And I even got to meet Dennis Cohen, the creator of Static Shock. I took a picture with him, man. It was gratifying. Oh man, hey Sherry, hello and good night. I love that. At the same time, hey, what's up, Sherry? How you doing? I know it's late, but I had to get this. I had to get this shine on. So look, let's talk about the Karjakz. So you have to have characters for animation. And for me, because the first official comic book is coming out this year, later on this year, everything I'm doing now is a setup. You all see what I'm saying? So let's talk about, and I'm going to use my classic drawings to show y'all what's up. It took me 3 years to create these characters. And I'm not going to go into any detail, but I'm going to break down each character. Not break down, but I'm going to show you each character. And then we're going to talk about You got version 1 of them, and you got version 5 of them. And then, I would say October 19, 2012 is when I finished creating the entire Karjakz statue universe. Because that's the date that I printed my first poster. 24 by 36-inch poster. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to show it to y'all. And then I'm going to break down, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like putting on my glasses, to be honest with you. Go full nerd. Hopefully it doesn't get on my nerves while I got the bucket hat. Because the bucket hat and glasses don't go together. Or maybe they do. Okay, I'll take that back. Now I can see. So look, y'all, let me grab this. Let me grab this poster. Y'all gotta look at this. So y'all, here we go. Thank everybody, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. So look at this. Without this poster, right? This was the first one I ever printed. So this is where the journey started, man. You see what I'm saying? You gotta have characters, right? So I created these guys right here. Look at this thing. It's beautiful, right? Look at this. So now what happened to me next was, now we're gonna put this back. So now, what happened to me next was I had to start creating. I decided I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these characters. So I got starting from the top, right? You got Cajun right there, character based on me. You got Escalade, character based on my sister. You got Glocks based on my brother. You got Rasputin based on my other brother. You got Sphinx. If I had a dog, that would be it right there. You got Diesel based on my older brother. You got Shepard based on my best friend, and then you got Sincere based on my dream girl. And so these are your heroes, right? And then you got your villains. You got Sanusi, is my bad side, right? If I was a villain, that'd be me right there. And then you got artillery. You got the Coyotes. You got Yukon, Kanji, Snipes, Excursion, Weevo. Like all the version 1s of a character, right? I create them, and I was like, I gotta do something with these jokers, man. So I decided I want to do animation. But I didn't know jack squat. I couldn't animate. All I could do was create characters, which is cool with me. It's better than having nothing. Part of creation is understanding how to learn whatever you need to learn to get where you need to go. And that's what I did. I just started going to school. And I couldn't afford going to no crazy animation school. I got accepted to this prestigious school, but the cost of going to the school was too damn much. I said, I'm not going into no debt. Hell no. So I just said, I'm going to find a community college to go to. So Orange Coast College was available. Long Beach City College was available. And I was telling myself that if I do these schools long enough, if I do some of the schooling and then combine that with some YouTubing, we're going to get somewhere. And that's exactly what happened. Y'all will see like the animation that I've done. But then I've got a new animation that I'm working on now. So now that we're done with the art shows, I don't have another one again until this weekend, this Saturday coming up. I'm going to be at the Long Beach downtown walk. It's different art stops all over the city. So it's going to be different artists set up in different places. But what happened to me was, in order to create animation, you have to understand your characters. So what were my characters' abilities? What did I want them to do? And also how do I present them on animation scale? Because how you draw a character and then how you animate them is totally two different things. There's a lot of stuff in when you draw a character, like the way I draw these guys right now, I can't bring them into an animation because it'll make it too difficult to animate. So you kind of have to simplify a lot of things and take away a lot of take away a lot of what they call the extras, as I like to call it. That's actually something I'm learning right now in school because I'm in animation school again. And what I'm realizing is that you can't animate. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. The Karjakz are winning. You can't animate unless you simplify it. So I read some of y'all's opinions in the chat, and some of it makes sense, some of it don't. But no, I'm doing my own thing. I'm not even about to be explaining what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So that's I'm doing my own thing. I'm not interested. I just see y'all's chat. That's the reason why I took it off my phone now. So I ain't gotta worry about seeing that. It's on the side, so I don't have to really look at it. But part of animation is understanding how to animate your characters. What you should keep on, what you should take off. Because if you have too many things going, you ain't gonna be able to do the animation. I had to learn that. That was like a hard lesson, boy. Let me tell you. I learned that the first time when I created the first animations for my characters. That was, I ain't gonna lie, that was rough, man. I was like, man, this is I got to see, and then you have to draw poses too. So I want you to imagine Cajun or Escalade, and I'm drawing multiple poses, 5, 6, 7 poses, and because you have to create it in a way that makes sense to the viewer how they seeing it. So you can't have animation without characters. But the thing is, as a kid growing up, all the cartoons I ever loved, whether it was Techno Man, Gundam Wing, Ronin Warriors, Gargoyles, Thundercats, X-Men the animated series, Voltron, you know, they all had one thing in common. They all had like cool characters, and then the characters one way or another was relatable to the audience, and that's very important. That's how you get great. That's how you get great animation, because once you create characters that people relate to, like for example, we all relate to Batman because of we all have, maybe if you lost a parent, or if you just feel like you don't belong. We get that. Or we all relate to Green Lantern because you want to be like travel to space and save the universe. I'm talking about Green Lantern John Stewart, not that cornball Al Jordan. I can't stand Al Jordan. Or we all relate to Superman. Well, not really relate to him, but like, man, we all wish we could do what he was doing. Or we all relate to, let's say, we relate to Iron Man or Blade. Blade because he's a hunter. Iron Man because he's an inventor. Or we all relate to, let's say, Wonder Woman. You know, because if you're a lady, you want some powerhouse Amazon to represent the ladies. Or or the Hulk. Like, for example, the Hulk is an example of a character you relate to because you feel like you're an outcast, and so he's an outcast. You know what I mean? So my characters, I wanted people to relate, and I didn't realize how cool my characters was till I went to this. Well, I've always known my characters are cool, but this show, like, it was my first comic expo since 2019. Then these characters, they really wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? They were. Yeah, sounds good. So part of yeah, I'm reading some of y'all screams. I can see it. Part of the storyline was figuring out how to do what I needed to do, but I guess the character. So back to my relation, the characters you have to relate to the characters. You have to be able to relate. The characters have to be relatable to people. So I created my characters. Like for example, Cajun is me. As I said, Escalade is my sister. Me, for example, I'm very much into creation. So Cajun's the creator. He's also the guy who invents most of the team stuff what they use. On the hero side. Same thing with Sun Tzu on the villain side. Even though Sun Tzu's the overlord, he's still a creator. He's the one who creates a lot of the weaponry that the assassins use. So, like, you have to create characters that people relate to. For example, Escalade. She's a Air Force Colonel pilot. She likes flying. So a lot of people can relate to flying. She flies jets and such like that. Diesel, he's able to build just about anything. He's the asbestos of the team. There's nothing that he can't construct. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Cynthia. She's a journalist. She's able to investigate things and figure out what the hell is going on. You got Shepard. You know what I'm saying? He's the heart and soul of the team. He's the wisdom of the team. He's the conscience of the team. And he's also blind too. And also too, he's also a doctor, right? Then you got Glocks. He's the tech guy on the team, the tech wizard. There's no way he can't infiltrate in terms of installations and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He's a very savvy computer person, just like my brother in real life. Then you got Rasputin, who's based on my other brother. He's a scientist, more logical about how things should be done, how he wants them to be done. So when you create characters, right, and that's the heroes. Now you're talking about the villain side. You got Sun Tzu, right? So look, I gotta raise this iPad up. You got Sun Tzu. He's the leader of the bad guys. Now Sun Tzu's the guy who orchestrates everything. He's the antagonist of the entire Karjakz universe. When you create a universe, probably the hardest thing to do is really just is really just uh uh drawing people, giving people a reason to be drawn to it. And so I think what I learned at this last expo, people are really drawn to my characters. Like I had my usual stuff that I had up, whether it was Marvel stuff or DC stuff, but for some reason, man, people were just talking about my characters only. I was really impressed by that, and that let me know that all the years of building and building and building has finally come to a point where, like, yeah, it's on and popping. You know what I mean? So you got Sun Tzu, who's the tech guy on the team. He's also the constructor of all the other stuff that they have. So you know, Sun Tzu is the leader of that guy. He's also the I call him the architect of the assassins, but he's also the instigator of the entire Karjakz assassin universe. So depending on what he does, what the Karjakz have to react to, if that makes any sense. Then you got the coyotes. Well, actually, I'll come to save the coyotes for last. Then you got artillery right here. His fiance / general of the assassins. That's artillery right there. Look, let me show y'all Sun Tzu. That's Sun Tzu right there. Y'all see him? Yeah, that's what's up. Now this is artillery right here. You see what I'm saying? Artillery is the general / fiance. So she's the general of the entire assassins. She decides, she orchestrates and executes all the ideas and plans that they have. And also she's also a bodyguard, which is the funny part. So she's his bodyguard. I mean, like I said, you have to create characters that people relate to. And when people relate to your character, there's really not much else you have to worry about. Then you got Yukon right here. I might as well go. You got Yukon right there, the strong guy of the team. You know, Yukon is a is like I don't want to call him a he's the guy who just wants to win but doesn't care how he does it. You know what I mean? But he has his uses because his main job is to just be an enforcer and get rid of anybody who needs to be gotten rid of. If that makes any sense, that's what Sun Tzu got him for. Like I said, he pieced together a team. Then you got Kanji, his daughter. You got Kanji and Revo, his daughter. His oldest of his children, Kanji. She's all around a beast. And this is a verse version of her. Like version 6 of her, oh my god. Y'all don't understand how sick she is. Version 5 of her is sick, is so sick too. And that, because without version 5, I wouldn't have been able to create the comic book and go forward into the new type of animation that I'm doing right now. So Kanji is the daughter of Sun Tzu. She's got to be killed altitude. She's just like her father, ruthless, and she's about conquering by any means. You know what I'm saying? So she's very like I said, you characters you create have to relate to people. You got Snipes, the purple head bombshell, right there. Y'all see Snipes right there, purple head bombshell. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I always just wanted one of my characters to have purple hair, and also too, a lot of people relate to her. Well, for whatever reason, everybody thinks she's the hottest thing they've ever seen, which makes me laugh because I'm like, this is an animated character. I can't believe y'all thinking that seriously about this character like that. Even at this last expo, man, I'm like, people make me laugh. Then you got Excursion, the hitman of the team. Excursion is this right here, version 1 of him. He's the hitman. He's the one who does I call it the dirty clean work. You know what I'm saying? If you need somebody taken out, he's that dude. Excursion is about business. That's what he's about. And then of course, the only way to get more business is to work for Sun Tzu and get what you want, get money and power and prestige. Then you got Revo, the son of Sun Tzu. Might be the best fighter in the entire Karjakz assassin universe. But version 1 of my character is the Revo version 1 compared to Revo version 5 is a joke. They're not even the same stratosphere. It's not even close. Like Revo version 5, oh my god. It's so sick. This is so sick too, but remember the construct is about characters. And you have to build your characters up to the point where you get better. Because as a creator, once you get better with creating your characters, you can do more things with it. You can do more things with them. So, and then you got at the bottom. Oh yeah, let me show you. So you see Cajun right there? Yep, that's Cajun right there. You see him? That's Cajun right there. Y'all, he looks sick, huh? Then you got Escalade. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Diesel. Y'all see him? You got Sincere. Look at that right there. You got Shepard, the guy in the red. You got Glocks. Then you got Rasputin. Then of course, can't forget Sphinx. Look at that. Sphinx right there. And then Seth right there. So Sphinx is an Egyptian mystical tiger, as well as Seth. You know, the combination of both really makes a difference in how you how you put together a character. So creating characters that related to people, you have to do that. And then next up is the is now how I take them and transition them to animations, because I have to explain the characters. And look, like if you look at well, I could just show you all version 5 of them. Why not? So you see, version 1 of what Excursion look like versus this one right here, it's night and day. Then you got Revo. I told you Revo was sick. Next level Revo right there. Look at that. See, animation characters are very, it takes a lot of, you have to keep building them. Like, it's the only way I can really explain it, man. You have to keep building them. Then you got Shepard right there. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Diesel right there. Yukon right there. Yep, you got Yukon right there. Then you got Snipes. Remember I told you Snipes, purple head bombshell. That's what she is. That's what I call her. Then you got Sanusi and Seth. Yep. You see what I'm saying? So like version 1, animation is all about making if you actually have the skill, you should do the best drawing of your character so you can animate them. So that way later on as your projects go, you're not having difficulties. That's what I do with mine. That's the way I learned it. That's the way I learned. So it makes a difference in how you do it. You got Rasputin, hero from the Karjakz. Yeah, he's pretty sick, man. This is gonna be a very sick. Wait till you see his animation spot. You got Cajun and Sphinx. So you got Seth and you got Cajun. So they can mix armors. You got excuse me. They can, like, I guess when you create a version, this is probably without question the version 5 of Cajun is 100 million times better than the version 1, but the version 1 has such nostalgia that without that you wouldn't have this. So that's important. You got Sincere. You see what Sincere looks like in version 5? Yeah. Then Karjakz vs. Avengers. I actually sold this at the Comic Expo. That was a pretty cool feeling. Then you got the Coyotes, Android Coyotes. They don't make no moves unless they're told to make a move. You know what I mean? So they just stay stationary all the time, waiting to go to a fight. You got Glocks right there, the sharpshooter version 5 of him. Oh, look at that. Karjakz Assassins, old versions. You know what I mean? You gotta have that, man. Then you got the classic. Then you got, oh man. Then you got Kanji. As you can see, she completely looks different from the Verge version right there. Then you got Artillery. She's the general. You see how she looks? She looks completely different. Evolution of the uniform, man. I was kind of looking at myself one day like, I need to evolve the uniform while I still can. And sure enough, I did a great job. I feel like her looking military style kind of makes it look super cool. I mean, she is former Navy SEAL and CIA, so it doesn't really bother me that she's like that. So, and then you got the whole thing, version 5 right there of my characters, Karjakz Assassins. So that's all the characters right there. Now, when you shift into animation, which I'm about to show you all next, it's about animation. You got 24 frames per second. You got to draw what you got to draw. You got to create, no, I don't know if I want to do 3D models yet. I'm not sure, but what I'm going to show y'all now is 2 animations. The animation part is, I ain't even got to explain it. The whole point of me creating my characters is pretty much to have my own animation series. The good thing about nowadays is that I really don't need to beg any company to let me do anything. You can do it all on your own. You have a YouTube channel, you have a TikTok or whatever platform you're more comfortable using with, and that's what you're going to use to pull yourself forward to get yourself where you need to go. Part of understanding how to animate is understanding the simple basics. 24 frames per second. Where do you want to insert keyframes? Keyframes are what allows you to animate and create the picture. Where do you want to what do you want your animation to do? For me, what's my animation impact? I want it to be like just like how the cartoons that I grew up on. Something that can create nostalgia, something that can be part of the pop culture. and everywhere around here. Now I'm starting to see it a lot. Like you got different people wearing my sneakers. You got different people wearing my t-shirt. It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling, and it takes time to grow. So my animation, there is no animation without my characters being created. So animation is more, what do I want it to, what style do I want? Like I grew up on a lot of Gundam Wing, Voltron, I'm trying to think, Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A lot of Japanese style animations, what I like. I draw Japanese style, which is important to me. So look, let's start off with the first animation. I'm going to show you 2 back-to-back animations because I can't show you the third new one. So give me a second. There you go. There you have it. So that's one animation. And that took an entire semester. Man, that was work. When I say that was work, that was truly work. You know what I mean? And then, well, now that I understand animation, it's not going to take me a whole semester. It's just a matter of time, having time to do all the work. Because I work, you know, I plan my day out. That's just the best way for me to put it. See all the rest of it. So yeah, so like, and the second animation was more like a comic strip style animation. It's just something I want to do because I want to kind of introduce my characters without fully like having to move an arm, to move a leg, do all that. And I can do stuff like that. Motion graphics animation, because that kind of gives, that's probably a good one for doing comic style type stuff to make it more interesting. But that's what happened with my characters. Animation is how you can use it to tell a story how you want to tell the story. Whether you want to tell a story about a hero and how they started, or villain how they got started, or just characters sub characters that you might be interested in doing stuff for. So that's animation, man. It's a hard I could have joined forces with other people, but I already tried that before a long time ago, and they kind of sucked. I wanted to form a team, but forming a team is not easy because everybody's always looking for something they need. So I just kind of decided to do it myself. And that's when I went to school by myself. I did the animations by myself. I drew everything by myself. I created the clothing by myself, the footwear by myself. I do most of the work by myself, man. That's how I get around. I don't have time for nobody wasting my time. Like right now, once I get off the platform, y'all, I got work to do. I got sneakers to design for customers, and I got t-shirts and bucket hats to design for customers. I'm not playing. The art show was totally amazing. Found great success. This kind of success that changes everything within your company. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all check out the animation. You can see that on my website, or you can see it on YouTube. So that's like animation. The animation, and then of course animation is gonna change my mindset because of what I'm learning at school. So school's a vital part of my animation sequence and how I'm doing it. So I just want to have a great cartoon like X-Men, Avengers, Gundam Wing, Ronin Warriors, great story, not just tell any kind of nonsense and go with that. Nah, I want this thing to be off the chain. So that's where I'm at with the animation, man. So that's what's up. So now animation, I talked about it. I want to talk about some cool products. Well, not cool products, but some new stuff. The new sneakers, man. I'm just showing y'all two things, and then also two posters. Since we're talking about animation, I ain't got no art if I ain't got no posters, right? Look, let's just show y'all my posters real quick. If you want to go get one, because a lot of people bought it this weekend. I sold a lot. So this is a classic Karjakz Assassin one right here. You got Karjakz, the heroes. You got Cajun. Y'all see that? You got Escalade. You got Sincere. You got Glocks. You got Rasputin. You got Diesel. You got Shepherd. Assassins. You got Sanusi. Artillery. Excursion. Kanji. Revo. Snipes. Yukon. The Coyotes. See? That's pretty cool right there. So you gotta have Cactus. You gotta have Cactus. And without them, I ain't got no Cactus. Oh, and one more thing I want to show y'all before I get up out of here. Because Cactus animation, you know, it's just a lot of people don't understand, like, the amount of work you gotta put into drawing something to create an animation is ridiculous. Now look, I'm gonna show y'all some things real quick. I just got 2 new pairs of sneakers. One's a kid sneaker, one's a adult sneaker, Karjakz Assassins. So look, I gotta show it to y'all, man. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at that right there. That's pretty sick, y'all, if I do say so myself. Yep, I did it. I made one for kids and it's totally sick. See this? That's totally sick. Batas 3 low tops for kids. Man, some person was like, whoa, that is so sick. They got a lot of love at the shows, man. A lot of love at the shows. And look, the bottom I can do a different color sometimes for the kids. Instead of white all the way, you can do black soles. So, Batas 3 low tops for kids, available now on soundvision.com. Whoa, my bad, y'all. I've been awake since 5 in the morning, man. I'm exhausted. And then, of course, I gotta talk about the adult ones. Right there. Look at these right here. Right there. Look at that. Adult ones. On this foot is the Assassins, the right foot, right? Look at that. They got the Karjakz on the inside. This thing is so sick. On the right foot, you got the Karjakz, the heroes. Look at this thing. And you flip it, you got that right there. So look, you can look at it in the totality. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about this more in a later date. But Batas 3 low tops, now available on soundvision.com. And I got all my characters look so sick in them, man. I gotta give myself props. You know what I mean? You gotta give yourself props, man. If you ain't giving yourself props, nobody else is giving you props. So, yo, that's my night for tonight, man. That's animation, characters and animation. I wanted to talk about the Karjakz. Of course, no. Excuse me. I want to talk about the Karjakz Assassin universe. I'm always talking about it. And look at this amazing hoodie. If you want a hoodie, visit soundvision.com. Go get your hoodie. But that's characters, man, and animation. You can't have a what's the word I'm looking for? You can't have success unless you kind of understand what you're choosing to do. So I have no desire or interest in going to some kind of animation to go owe money, but I want to learn how to animate on my own, which is what I'm doing. So, and I'm going to Long Beach City College, which is kind of close and convenient. But there's still a lot more further to go with, like, in terms of where I want my animation to end up at. You know what I mean? So, yo, that's our show for tonight, man. I want to thank all of y'all for joining the stream tonight. And as always, y'all, there's 2 things I always say. 2 things I always say. 1, there's no success in skipping steps. The back of the line is just as important as the line. It's just as important in front of the line. Be determined, not desperate. And then the second thing I always say, your dreams can be delayed but must never be extinguished. So wait your time while the universe delivers your right hand. Be determined, not desperate. Always, 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 always believe in yourself, man. So y'all, that's my night for tonight. I am definitely taking it to sleep. I am exhausted, y'all. You know what I mean? So I want to thank all of y'all, man. And thanks to all of y'all again. I got to thank y'all again. 1,000 plus subscribers, man. 1,007 to be specific. It's totally the most amazing feeling to have done that much, achieved that much in such a short time. So thank all of y'all, man. So as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Believe in yourself. Never give up, y'all. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.